As at year 2022, the total amount of looted funds recovered from the late head of state, General Sani Abacha, in the past 24 years was put at $3.65 billion. This was revealed by an infographic by the BBC with data gathered from the federal government, World Bank and Transparency International. It showed that while in 1998, a total of $75 million was recovered from the late head of state's family, in year 2000, $64 million was recovered from Switzerland. In 2002, $1.2 billion was recovered from the Abacha family. In 2003, $160 million and $88 million were recovered from JSA and Switzerland respectively. And in 2005, another $461.3 million was recovered back to the country from Switzerland. Also, in 2006, Nigeria was also fortunate to have received another $44.1 million from Switzerland. In 2014, $227 million was recovered from Liechtenstein. In 2018, another $322 million came from Switzerland. In 2020, a total of $311.7 million was repatriated from the USA, and also an agreement was signed for another $23 million to be sent from the USA. The federal government of Nigeria and the United States of America had an agreement for the repatriation of $23 million being assets looted by late head of state, General Sani Abacha. In a remark at the signing in Abuja at that time, the then Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Abubakar Malami, had said since 2016, his ministry, the United Kingdom National Crime Agency, and the United States Department of Justice had been working closely with the legal representatives of the federal government to finalize litigations related to the Abacha-linked assets. Malami noted that based on agreement between parties, the United Kingdom High Court granted the National Crime Agency a registration and recovery order on July 21, 2021, which was sealed by the court on August 4, 2021. He said the forfeited Mikosta/Sani Abacha assets were subsequently transferred to the NCA, which on February 7, 2022, held at the sum of $22,439,724 pending the execution of the assets returned agreement between the FRN and the USA. He added that in line with the agreement, former President Muhammadu Buhari approved the use of the funds for the ongoing Presidential Development Infrastructural Funds projects, which include the Abuja-Kaduna Road, Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, and the Second Niger Bridge, which were supervised by the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority. He said the president had mandated his office to ensure that all international recoveries are transparently invested and monitored by civil society organizations to complete the 3 projects within the agreed timeline. He urged the U.S. government not to relent in supporting Nigerians' commitment to speedy and transparent management of returned assets. It is on record that for more than 25 years, successive governments and presidents Olusegun Obasanjo, the late Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, Goodluck Jonathan, and Muhammadu Buhari all received various cash refunds from the money stolen by Abacha and stacked in various foreign destinations. None of these past administrations accounted fully for the refunds or explained how they were spent. Indeed, in an incisive report, The Economist of London said monies looted from Nigeria by its public officers and refunded to its government were often allegedly relooted. A former United States President Barack Obama, emphasizing the importance of accountability in building an enduring democracy, declared that information maintained by the government is a national asset to be made available to its owners, the people, as a matter of duty and right. But Nigerian government seems to be operating in secrecy and is never seen to be accountable to the people. This plays out in all its activities and is exemplified in its handlings of Abacha loot. Over the years, reports regularly surface on foreign banks and governments returning part of the stolen funds, but Nigerians are not briefed on how they are spent. The National Assembly, that has the constitutional duty to demand and receive full details, are consistently not seen to be carrying out their duties. This has allowed successive governments to violate the law and act with impunity, first by failing to render detailed account, and second by spending money not appropriated by the parliament. Third, most of the funds belong jointly to the 3 tiers of government, but the federal government has often cornered most of it. This, Nigerian says, is a gross violation of the constitution. Except on few occasions and only at the instance of foreign governments that returned the monies and made it a condition for future refunds, the government just collects the money and spends without oversight. According to the Punch newspaper, when the federal government facilitated the return in 2020 of $311 million, the governments of the United States, United Kingdom, and the bailiwick of Jersey insisted that it be deployed solely to completing the rehabilitation of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway and the Abuja-Kano Expressway, as well as the completion of the second Niger Bridge construction project. In response to public pressure, mostly from civil society organizations, the government had variously claimed to have used part of the previous returned loot to fund some road infrastructure projects. It has never provided evidence to back up this claim. The French government announced last week Friday its decision to return $150 million of the late General Sani Abacha loot. Since the death of Sani Abacha, who was Nigeria's military leader from 1993 to 1998, the country has recovered hundreds of millions of dollars heaped abroad. The visiting France Minister for Europe and Foreign Affairs, Catherine Colonna, who disclosed this in Abuja, said she has informed President Bola Tinubu about the planned return of $150 million. Nigerians, while speaking with BTV News crew on the planned return of the looted funds, advised the federal government to spend the money on infrastructure such as the revamping of the refineries, saying that the federal government should not wait until 2024 December as earlier announced for the completion of the refinery. They also said the federal government should invest in the education sector, stabilize the economy, fix some federal roads across the country.
If that money should be returned, I will be on the opinion that the money should be channeled into our roads. Our roads are bad, and secondly, only one refinery should be put to work within the next possible means so that that money can be used.
Do capital projects to alleviate poverty and to alleviate the suffering of the common man. Like they should invest more on insecurity, more on our roads, and more on human capital. I think if they can be able to harness this, that money will go a long way to salvage the poor masses, not getting the money and sharing it among politicians.
Should be used to alleviate the sufferings of the masses. If you look now, the cost of living is so high. Things are increasing day by day. So the masses, this money should be given to the very poor of the poorest, not to be looted again.
Maize and do security and road where you no get, make the repair road so that all those bandits they will come up for bush. Because our road no good, that's why they put checking point, they collect people money. So that money if they refund and make they do road, make they do light, make for see condance more poor people. See the Ajana and just suffer with the suffer Abacha money that they collect and since we know they see waiting that they take and do.
And the government should use that same funds to better the lives of the common citizens of this country. Build us good roads, provide better schools at cheaper rates, provide better medical facilities that we won't need to travel abroad.
To settle the poorest of the poor. Because at least they are giving palliative before. They should use to settle the poorest of the poor. Because this economy is really biting, especially the increment of this fuel subsidy. It's biting both the transport system. It's biting all of us.
It is, however, the hope of many Nigerians that the President Bola Tinubu administration will change the narrative and invest in people-oriented infrastructure by ensuring that the common man living in the rural, urban, or city areas benefits directly from the dividends of democracy. And that's our special report for today. Thank you so very much for watching. Best Orator reporting for BTV News. Best Orator reporting for BTV News.